Morning does not begin with the sun. It begins the moment consciousness returns, and with it, the weight of choice. We wake into a battlefield unseen, not of noise or chaos, but of impulses, fears, desires, and the quiet resistance to rise. Most surrender here before the day has even asked anything of them. But we do not. We remember what Marcus Aurelius once wrote. At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work, as a human being. This is where our morning begins, not in comfort, but in duty. 1. Rise with reluctant will. We do not wait to feel ready. Readiness is a myth the undisciplined cling to. The first victory is small, almost invisible. We rise when the body begs for more, not violently, but decisively. In that moment, we draw a line between who we are and what we feel. The mind protests. It always does, but we are not here to negotiate with weakness. Epictetus taught, no man is free who is not master of himself. So we rise, not because it is easy, but because it is necessary. And in doing so, we reclaim authority over the self. 2. Enter the silence before the world speaks. Before messages, before noise, before the world demands our attention, we step into silence. This silence is not emptiness. It is confrontation. Here, we meet our thoughts without distraction. We observe them as they are, restless, scattered, sometimes dark. We do not run. We do not suppress. We watch. In this quiet, we learn a critical truth. Thoughts are not commands. They are suggestions, often misguided. Seneca warned, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. So we sit, not to escape the mind, but to understand it. And in understanding, we weaken its power to disturb us. 3. Rehearse the harshness of reality. We do something most avoid. We imagine difficulty. Not to become pessimistic, but to become prepared. We picture the obstacles that may arise: disrespect, delay, failure, loss. We do not dramatize them. We normalize them. Because they are not exceptions, they are part of the human condition. When we anticipate hardship, we remove its ability to shock us. Marcus Aurelius again reminds us, begin each day by telling yourself, today I shall meet with interference, ingratitude, insolence, disloyalty. And yet, we will not be harmed by these things, because we understand their nature. This habit steels the mind. It transforms reaction into readiness. 4. Clarify what is within our control. The world is vast, unpredictable, indifferent, but our domain is small and absolute. We take a moment to separate what is ours from what is not. Our thoughts, our actions, our judgments, these belong to us. Everything else does not. This distinction is not philosophical decoration. It is survival. When we attach ourselves to what we cannot control, we suffer unnecessarily. When we anchor ourselves in what we can, we become unshakable. Epictetus made this the foundation of a disciplined life. Some things are in our control and others not. So each morning we return to this truth. We let go of the uncontrollable and we sharpen our focus on the rest. 5. Train the body to strengthen the mind. We do not neglect the body. It is the instrument through which discipline is expressed. Movement in the morning is not about aesthetics. It is about resistance. We train not to impress, but to endure, to feel discomfort and remain steady, to push beyond the first impulse to stop. Because the same voice that tells us to quit during physical strain will speak again later, in moments that matter more. If we obey it here, we will obey it there. But if we resist it here, we weaken its authority everywhere. The body becomes a proving ground. And through it, the mind becomes harder, quieter, more obedient to reason. 6. Speak with intention, even in silence. Before we speak to others, we speak to ourselves, not with empty affirmations, but with deliberate reminders of who we aim to be. We do not say, today will be easy. We say, today I will remain composed. We do not say, nothing will go wrong. We say, whatever happens, I will meet it with reason. This is not optimism, it is commitment. Modern interpreters like Ryan Holiday echo this ancient discipline. Clarity of thought precedes clarity of action. So we define our standard before the world tests it. And when the test comes, as it always does, we are not improvising. We are executing. 7. Act immediately, without delay or excuse. The final habit is simple but unforgiving. We begin. No hesitation. No endless planning. No waiting for the right moment. We step into action. Because delay is the silent killer of discipline. It disguises itself as preparation, but it is often fear. Seneca wrote, "While we are postponing, life speeds by." So we do not postpone. We start the work. We make the call. We face the task we would rather avoid. And in doing so, we build momentum, the kind that carries through the entire day, the thread that binds it. All these habits are not isolated actions. They are a single movement, a deliberate shaping of the self before the world interferes. We rise against resistance. We confront the mind in silence. We prepare for adversity. We focus on what is ours. We strengthen the body. We define our character. We act without delay. Together they form a shield, not against the world, but against our own undisciplined nature. Because the greatest threat we face each day is not external. It is the impulse to react blindly, to indulge anger, to surrender to fear, to seek comfort over growth. But we are not at the mercy of these impulses. We can observe them, challenge them, refuse them. And in that refusal, we become something rare, a person governed not by circumstance, but by principle. Closing reflection. Morning is not just the start of the day. It is the foundation of who we become. If we lose it to distraction, hesitation, or indulgence, we carry that weakness forward. But if we claim it with discipline, clarity, and intention, we carry strength into everything that follows. This path is not easy. It was never meant to be. But it is simple, and it is ours. So tomorrow, when the mind resists, when the body hesitates, when comfort calls us back into unconsciousness, we will remember. We are not here to be ruled by ease. We are here to master ourselves. And it begins, again, at dawn.